The last train. One evening, a man named Tom missed his usual train home. It was getting late, and he was tired from a long day at work. As he sat on the cold bench at the nearly empty station, he saw the last train of the night approaching, its lights gleaming through the dark mist. It was a strange-looking train, old with a rusted exterior and the kind of design that looked like it hadn't been in service for decades. But it was the last train, and Tom had no choice but to board. He stepped onto the train, noting the eerie silence. The carriage was empty, with no passengers except for him. The air felt thick, and a chill seemed to settle over him as the train lurched forward, leaving the station. Tom glanced out the window. The world outside was dark, with only the occasional flash of streetlights as they sped past. There was something off about the landscape, though. It seemed unfamiliar. The buildings, trees, and roads he recognized were gone, replaced by mist and a shadowy, desolate landscape. As he sat back, trying to calm his nerves, he noticed something strange. There was a reflection in the window, but it wasn't his own. It was the face of a woman, pale and hollow-eyed, staring at him with an unsettling grin. Her face was pressed against the glass, but there was no sound, no movement except her eerie smile. Tom jerked away, heart pounding. He turned to look down the aisle, but the train was still empty. Sweat trickled down his neck. He tried to ignore it, telling himself it was just his imagination. But as the train continued its journey, the feeling of dread only grew. The woman's face never left the window, staring at him with that same wide grin. She seemed to be closer now, her eyes following his every move. Tom could feel his heart race faster as the train accelerated. He stood up, determined to get off at the next stop, but when he reached the door, it wouldn't open. He slammed his hands against the cold metal, panicking. Then he heard it, the unmistakable sound of footsteps approaching him from behind. Slowly, he turned around. The entire train had filled with people, silent, pale figures, all staring at him with those same hollow eyes. The woman from the window was now standing at the end of the aisle, smiling even wider. Tom's breath caught in his throat as the woman took a step forward. "You shouldn't have boarded this train," she whispered, her voice echoing in his ears. Suddenly, the train screeched to a halt. The doors flew open, and the woman lunged toward him. He tried to run, but before he could make it, she grabbed his arm with an icy grip. The last thing Tom saw was her smile, stretching wider than should have been possible, as she whispered, "Welcome to your last ride." The next morning, the train station was quiet as usual, but no one noticed the man who had vanished without a trace. The last train had come and gone, leaving only an empty platform. Subscribe for more stories.